Hi, this is Bishop Tarafdar from India Astrologer. In this video, I'm going to talk about Rahu Mahadasha. I'm going to talk about whether Rahu Mahadasha is good, moderate or bad in your horoscope, in your life. So it varies from person to person. One might be having a very good Rahu Mahadasha, one might be having a moderate Rahu Mahadasha, or one might be having a very bad Rahu Mahadasha. It all depends how Rahu is positioned in your natal chart. So one important thing which everybody needs to know here initially, that Rahu is favorable with three planets, namely Saturn, Venus and Mercury. So if Rahu is positioned in any of these houses, that is the sign of Saturn, that is Capricorn or Aquarius, Makar or Kumbha. If Rahu is placed in Gemini or Virgo, that is the sign of Mercury, it is Mithuna or Kanya, it is favorable. Or Rahu is placed in the house of Venus, that is Libra or Taurus, the sign of Venus, or Tula or Vrishava. In this six signs, Rahu is considered favorable. And there are two opinions are there, that Rahu gets exalted, the maximum strength in the sign of Taurus, and some astrologers say that Rahu gets exalted in the sign of Gemini. So let's go with both the methods, let's go with both the opinions. Let's consider Rahu is exalted in Taurus, or with some opinion it might be exalted in Gemini. I don't want to conflict people who are of the opinion that Rahu is exalted in Gemini, and neither I want to deviate from my opinion that Rahu is exalted in Taurus. You consider both, because anyway Rahu is good in the sign of Mercury or Venus. So let's consider Rahu can be exalted in both the signs, that is the sign of Taurus or Gemini. So now we have to see if, for example, if Rahu is placed in the sign of Capricorn, we have to see, or Aquarius, we have to see how Saturn is placed in the chart. For example, if Rahu is placed in the sign of, okay, one more thing I have to mention. I said that Rahu is favorable with the planets like Saturn, Venus and Mercury. I mentioned Rahu is exalted in Taurus, and some opinion Rahu can be exalted in Gemini. So Rahu is basically good in the sign of Venus, Mercury and Saturn. Now there is one sign which is the own sign of Rahu according to Vedic astrology. We consider Aquarius to be the own sign of Rahu. It's the own sign of Rahu, owns the sign of Aquarius, is a co-lord of Aquarius along with Saturn in Vedic astrology. So if Rahu is placed in any of the signs, that is moon trikona signs, exaltation sign or favorable sign as mentioned earlier, Rahu gives favorable results. But we have to quantify how favorable is Rahu if it is positioned in this signs. And it can so happen that Rahu might be in any other sign also, but still it is favorable. For example, Rahu might be in the sign of Leo, Cancer, Scorpio, Aries, or Jupiter sign like Pisces or Sagittarius. In that case also it can be very favorable. So we'll discuss in course of our discussion in this video. I'm going to give examples and I'm going to discuss all the cases. But for now, you keep in mind that Rahu gives good results in the sign of Saturn, in the sign of Venus, in the sign of Mercury. And Rahu is exalted in the sign of Taurus, with some opinion it is exalted in the sign of Gemini. And the Rahu own sign is Aquarius. So all these signs are favorable sign of Rahu. Now we have to quantify how favorable Rahu is it if Rahu is placed in any of the signs. For example, let's say the case when Rahu is placed in the sign of Capricorn, for example. It's a sign of Saturn. So we have to see how favorable Saturn is in the chart. For example, let's consider a case that Saturn is placed in the sign of Aquarius or even Capricorn along with Rahu. In that case, Rahu should be very favorable. Why? Because the dispositor of Rahu is in the own sign. If Saturn is in Capricorn or Aquarius and Rahu is placed in Capricorn or Aquarius, I think it is a very favorable Rahu. But again we have to quantify how powerful this combination is. Saturn in own sign, Rahu in Saturn sign, how powerful Rahu is. For that what we are going to see is that what is the lordship of Saturn? What is the lordship of Saturn in the chart? For example, for Libra ascendant, Saturn is a Yoga Karaka, being the lord of 4th house and 5th house. So for Libra ascendant, if Rahu is placed in 4th house in Capricorn or 5th house in Aquarius, and the Saturn is placed in the own sign of Aquarius or Capricorn, it is very favorable. Because Saturn is a moon trikona lord, Rahu is placed in the Saturn sign and Saturn is in own sign. So if, for example, another ascendant, for example, Taurus ascendant, For Taurus ascendant, Rahu is in Capricorn and Saturn is in Aquarius. So dispositor of Rahu is in the own sign and the dispositor of Rahu is the Yoga Karaka, 9th Lord and 10th Lord. So it's a very excellent Rahu result you're going to get for this kind of combination. Even if the Saturn is positioned in friendly sign, for example, Taurus, Libra, Gemini, Virgo, in that case also Rahu is favorable. The degree of power of Rahu varies if the Saturn is in own sign, multi-cone sign, friendly sign, that way it varies. For example, Rahu let's say is in Aquarius, Capricorn, and Saturn is in the sign of Leo for Libra ascendant. In that case also Rahu is strong, but not as strong as the case when Saturn would have been in Taurus or Libra or Gemini or Virgo. Why? Because the dispositor Saturn for Rahu case is in a friendly sign if it's in the case of Libra or Taurus or Gemini or Cancer. But in the case of Leo, Saturn being positioned in the sign of Leo for Libra ascendant, Rahu placed in Capricorn, it is not as powerful as it would have been if it would have been in the sign of Saturn, Venus or Mercury. Position of Saturn. Another example I'm giving. For example, let's say the case of Gemini ascendant. Okay, and Rahu is placed in the sign of, for example, let's say Libra. Okay, so we got to see how Venus is placed in this case. For example, if Venus is placed in the sign of Libra or Taurus, it is an excellent Rahu. Gemini ascendant, Rahu in the 5th house in Libra, and the dispositor of Rahu, Venus, is the own sign of Libra or Taurus. It's excellent Rahu. First of all, Lordship also, Venus is the 5th Lord, and Venus in the own sign either in Libra or Taurus, it's very excellent. For example, if the Venus is in the sign of Gemini, or Capricorn or Aquarius, it is also good because Venus is in a friendly sign, so it is good. Now, if the Venus is in the sign of Virgo, where Venus is debilitated, and Rahu is in the sign of Libra, for Gemini ascendant, it's not very good. Why? Because the dispositor of Rahu is debilitated. Got it? Similarly, the earlier case when I said that Saturn is in the sign of, for Libra ascendant, Rahu is in the sign of Capricorn, Saturn is in the sign of Leo, is not very good, like the way if the Saturn would have been in the sign of Aquarius, Taurus, Libra, Gemini or Virgo. Similarly, the Saturn is debilitated in Aries. It's not considered good when Rahu is placed in the sign of Capricorn. The dispositor is very important. The dispositor of Rahu, if it is well placed in friendly sign, multi-cone sign, exaltation sign, it is excellent. For example, Libra ascendant, Rahu is in the sign of Capricorn and Saturn is in the sign of Libra, exaltation sign of Libra. It's excellent Rahu. Dispositor of Saturn is exalted in Libra. Now the third case, we discussed the position of Rahu with respect to Saturn sign, Venus sign, Mercury sign. Then we have seen the dispositor of Rahu in friendly sign, own sign, multi-cone sign, exaltation sign. Okay. Now the third case, Rahu is placed in Kendra or Trikona and the dispositor is having a Raj Yog. How? Okay, I'll give a different example now in this case. I'm not going to take the case of Libra ascendant or Gemini ascendant or the friendly sign of Libra or friendly sign of Saturn, Venus or Mercury. I'm going to take a different route during this time. For example, let's consider a case of Leo ascendant. For example, your ascendant is Leo and Rahu is placed in the sign of Scorpio. So you're saying that in spite of Rahu being in the unfriendly sign of Scorpio, debilitation sign of Scorpio, and Leo ascendant wise also is not favorable to the ascendant, still you are having excellent Rahu Dasha. How? I'll tell you. For example, your Rahu can be in the sign of Scorpio. You are being Leo ascendant, you are having excellent Rahu Dasha. How? Because the dispositor of Rahu is Yoga Karaka Mars. For example, if the dispositor of Rahu, Yoga Karaka Mars, is conjoined with the Lagna Lord Sun in the sign of Leo, what is happening? The dispositor of Rahu is the Yoga Karaka Mars, 4th Lord and 9th Lord, conjoined with Lagna Lord Sun. So it is having a Raj Yog by itself. Lagna Lord, 4th Lord, 9th Lord is conjoined in one side. Who is the dispositor of Rahu? So you'd be having an excellent Rahu Dasha for Leo ascendant, Rahu placed in Scorpio. I'll give you another example. For example, Scorpio ascendant. Scorpio ascendant, Rahu is placed in the sign of Leo, for example. Leo sun is an unfriendly sign of sun. It's an unfriendly sign of sun. And the dispositor of Rahu's sun is in the sign of Cancer along with moon. Okay, not in Amavasya thing, it might be Pratipadi. Even in Amavasya also the Rajyog is valid. For example, moon and sun conjoined in the sign of Cancer and Rahu is placed in the sign of Leo. What is happening for Scorpio ascendant? Scorpio ascendant, sun is the 10th lord, moon is the 9th lord. The dispositor of Rahu is sun, 10th lord conjoined with 9th lord moon. So 9th lord, 10th lord conjunction for the dispositor of Rahu. It's an excellent Rahu Dasha you are going to get if such combination is existing. See, neither Rahu is in a friendly sign, nor the ascendant is favorable for Rahu, but still you are having excellent Rahu results. Why? Because the dispositor is having a Rajyog. Now I'll give you another example. So we have considered three cases. One, the friendly sign of Saturn, Venus and Mercury, exaltation, moon sign of Rahu. Then next case is that dispositor in a friendly sign, unfriendly sign. Then the dispositor having a Rajyog. For example, another case. I'll take an example. When Rahu is in a friendly sign, Rahu is in a fourth case. I discussed it earlier also. I'll just give one more example I'll give. For example, Rahu is in the sign of, let's say, Taurus. Okay, Rahu is in the sign of Taurus for Libra ascendant. No, for Taurus ascendant. First of all, Rahu is exalted. 10th lord Rahu is exalted in the Lagna lord Taurus. But the dispositor Venus is debilitated in Virgo. In that case, in spite of Rahu being exalted, it is not going to give good results. So we have taken four cases we have seen. Now I'll go to the fifth case when Rahu is powerful. What is that case? Yeah. For example, Rahu is conjoined with a planet in a horoscope. For example, Rahu is conjoined with, for example, let's say Mercury. For example, let's say consider the case of Sagittarius ascendant. Sagittarius ascendant, Rahu and Mercury conjoined in the sign of Virgo, for example. It's an excellent Rahu. Whenever you get the Rahu Dasha, it will be an excellent Dasha. Why? Because Rahu is conjoined with Mercury, exalted Mercury in the sign of Virgo, in the 10th sign. So when the Rahu Dasha operates, you are going to get the result of exalted Mercury. Similarly, for example, another case, let's take an example of Libra ascendant. Rahu is in the sign of Capricorn and Saturn is also in the sign of Capricorn. So Rahu is conjoined with the Yogakaraka Saturn, 4th lord, 5th lord Saturn in the own sign. It's an excellent Rahu Dasha. Okay, now I'll tell another example, which is a bit dicey, which you might not have heard of this kind of combination. But if you have this combination, you'd be having an excellent Rahu Dasha. For example, you are having an ascendant Scorpio. Your sun and moon is in the sign, any sign for example, any sign, can mean any sign, more preferably in friendly sign. For example, let's say consider Rahu, sun and moon is in the sign of Libra. Sun is debilitated, moon is okay in the sign of Libra, and Rahu is in the sign of Libra. In that case also you will have excellent Rahu Dasha. Why? The 9th lord sun, 9th lord moon and 10th lord sun is conjoined with Rahu in the sign of Libra. That is a Rajyog, it is combined with 9th lord and 10th lord. So the Rahu Dasha, you will have an excellent Rahu Dasha. But the problem is that moment you have the sun or moon Dasha, you would be facing the bad effect of Rahu. Yeah, this is a unique case. Sun, moon conjoined with Rahu, both are one is the lord of 9th house, one is the lord of 10th house. You have excellent Rahu Dasha. But moment sun and moon operates in Bhukti or in Mahadasha, you would have a difficult time. So this is the contradictory thing with the Rahu case. So we have discussed about planet in conjunction with Rahu. We have discussed the disposition of Rahu. We have seen the friendly sign of Rahu. We have seen the okay. One more thing also. For example, you have a case. For example, you take a case of Sagittarius ascendant. Or for example, Cancer, Scorpio ascendant. So you might have heard that Rahu is exalted in Taurus, so it is debilitated in Scorpio. Or some astrologer will have the opinion Rahu is exalted in Gemini, so it is debilitated in the sign of Sagittarius. So basically Sagittarius and Scorpio is not a very powerful sign of Rahu. But still Rahu can give good results if it is in this sign. How? For example, for a Scorpio ascendant, Rahu is in Lagna, means debilitated Rahu in Lagna. The Dispositor Mars is having a Rajyog in aspect. In that case also it is favorable. I'll tell you one thing now here. For example, Rahu is in in the sign of Scorpio, for Scorpio ascendant, and Mars is in the sign, for example, in the sign of Aries, conjoined with Sun and Moon. So Mars is conjoined with 9th Lord, 10th Lord, and he himself in the Multikon sign. It is an excellent Rahu period you'd be seeing. I'll take another example. Mars is in Scorpio and Sun Moon is in the sign of Libra. Sun is debilitated, but 9th Lord, 10th Lord in Libra, aspecting Lagna Lord Mars, the Dispositor of Rahu in the sign of Aries. So in that case also Rahu Dasha would be good. How? The Dispositor of Rahu is having aspect from powerful Lord in that chart. So this is the way you have to see whether Rahu is good or bad in a chart. But we cannot limit ourselves to one chart. We have to see the relevant divisional chart under consideration. For example, if you are seeing career, you have to see D10 chart. If you are seeing relationship, you have to see Navamsa chart, D9 chart. If you are seeing health, you have to see D6 chart, D6 30 chart. If you are seeing fame, you have to see Panchamsa chart. If you are seeing money, you have to see Hoda chart. If you are seeing property, you have to see D4 chart. And the list goes on. There are 20 divisional charts in total, which can be seen by an astrologer, depending on which area of life is of importance to you at that point of time in your life. So Rahu can be good, Rahu can be moderate, Rahu can be favorable. It is a very complex thing, but I believe that if you repeat this video again and again, and if you can get the concept which I am trying to explain it to you, and if you can go by it exactly in total the way I discussed, you would be knowing whether you have a good Rahu or a bad Rahu. And you can verify with your past life events also, because I believe that all of you are grown up people, so you definitely have got at least bhukti of Rahu in your life, if not the Mahadasha. So you can verify whether your Rahu was good, bad or moderate. So just abide by the principles which I told you now and apply it in your chart. If you have any query, you can come to, if you have any further clarifications, you can come for a reading with me. But go through this video again and again and learn the concept and apply in your chart. It is 100%, I believe at least it is that way it happens from my experience as an astrologer. So wish you a very happy Rahu Mahadasha if you are running. Not necessarily Rahu has to be bad, it can be good also. Wish you a very happy Rahu Mahadasha. And if otherwise, if the Rahu Mahadasha is not fairing or Rahu Dasha Bhukti is not being favorable to you, check another video I have given, remedies of Rahu. You can do those remedies and make it moderate. If it's bad, you can make it moderate. Just try to do the remedies of Rahu. I have just given a video, just before this video I made a video, remedies of Rahu. You can listen to that video if your Rahu Dasha or Bhukti is not being favorable to you. Yeah, do those remedies. Wish you a very happy Rahu Dasha. Thank you for viewing my video. Wish you all the best. God bless you.